the order a little bit. Professor Dastidar is going to go first. And I assume you'll follow the order from then on. Is that?
It's up to you.
It's up to me.
You're the boss.
Choose. Okay, so Professor Dastidar will go first. And how long for each person?
12 minutes.
12 minutes. Okay, and then the questions and answer right after the presentation, right there.
Differently. Some people did it right after that. Some people did at the end.
Okay, so we'll get back to that issue. Thank you.
So, should I go?
Go ahead.
Now, it's a very obscure place in Bangladesh, and this is a story about how a very extremely obscure place have come back to life. The place is called Then and Now. So I'm going to walk you through some of these things, and I was asked by somebody else to write an essay on that, an article on that for a magazine published from Hawaii by American native-born people. So this is in the center of Bangladesh, Mahilara, where actually parts of her ancestors, Shefali was born there. Her ancestral family always lived there in the same house for at least last 10 generations. Their house is still called Headmaster's house because for many, many generations they lived. And we came into picture when this is the old temple, very beautiful temple existed, but it was falling apart, and during 1990 and 92 pogrom, they were attack on this building to bring it down. The deities were destroyed, but the building, they couldn't. It's about 300-year-old building. So that's where we came into. It's a really beautiful landscape of beautiful Bangladesh. Rural, peaceful, like everywhere you see water. So it was a historic site in the early 1990s. The poor Hindu devotees requested Dastidar family to save the historic shrine that came under attack in early 1990s. Mother Nature too was taking her toll. This was home to some of the Dastidar family ancestors before they fled after a pogrom in 1950s. Still their ancestral home is called Headmaster's house, as for many generations there were headmaster from the learned family. On June, so I started to write to Bangladesh government saying please fix it, otherwise let us allow it to fix. So on June 17, 1996, Bangladesh government from their embassy here sent me a letter that your mot, they call mot, the temple, would be repaired in coming fiscal year. So that gave the hope, and these were the people who they call me as their part of the family. 1997, when the building was finished, I'll come to that in a second, they said their per capita family income is about $20, $1,500. Generally, they have 8 or 10 people. So now we are part of that family. And my connection was the guy who had nothing. You know, that was the only asset he had, a monk, hermit. So he became my connection, and he would say, older brother, Dada, please help us. So then, as I said, people organized, women came forward to organize, men came to organize, and this is the first prayer when government says yes, it could be saved, and when we said we would build a building there in the name of the two mothers who fled from there. Accidentally, both my mother and my Shefali's mother the same first and middle name. Shefali's mother died as a post-partition death when she was a toddler. So her older sister raised her, who was a teenager. So this gave the hope, and the process started. And this was, the building is still called, it's also called Leaning because, as you can see, the building leans. It's all brick building called Shikhar Deul style. There's one of the Bengali styles of building this thing. So it's also known as Halado Mott, Sharkar Mott, or Radha Krishna Mandir. There are many, many other terms. So then they asked us if we could build them a place for a school, as well as where the monk could stay, because there was no place for them to stay. So we got together and we started raising money, and we were able to raise money. And these are some of the people who organized. themselves. And as you can see, that's my camera, somebody's taking picture. Any place you go, you're like a more than a royalty. I mean, people really, and they're throwing rice and ululating it. They're throwing rice on you as a welcome. I mean, it just really one of a kind. Now, this was a foundation laying ceremony of Niyarkana Bhaktabas. Niyarkana is my mother, Shefali's mother's first and middle name. I want to show you this picture. This was a long tradition in Bengal. There's a Hindu prayer, but the prayer being also offered by a Muslim gentleman who was the main builder. So that kind of co-religion was very, very common, but it was frowned upon by more Islamists. As a matter of very recently, just 1 week ago, current Bangladesh Prime Minister was chastised by the previous Prime Minister because she went to a Hindu festival of Mother Goddess. It was the big headline in the paper. Anyway, so this was when we started to build it. All kinds of people were coming together. And as if you read Bengali, it says, welcome, happy felicitation. And you cannot. So anyway, this was organizing and welcoming you. Of course, Bengalis have to have songs and music. And of course, they have to have a citation. So this was, at that time, I had a mustache, as you can see. That saved me. So organizing people, getting together, because it took this, something like that never happened before. So it was such a thing, electrifying thing, that people from far and near were coming to see whether it was true. This lady is offering me, at the day of this opening ceremony, Holy Gita, but there's a 2 taka note, which is about 3 cents. But it's the warmth that they have no money, yet they are offering me something. It's really, and this is when this is after we have built the building on the right hand side. These were the donors' tablet. I'll come to that in a second. And this is the paper we are giving it to the monk, who is the headmaster, who also runs this school. In 2001, when there was a new government was coming in, he was attacked with a machine gun and every Hindu minority were driven out. But because we were there, we were able to bring them back. So this is the welcome. It says Swagatam, or welcome, on the very first day of the opening of this building. By this time, this has already been repaired by the government. So these are the children who are reciting, who are going to the schools. They're reciting poems, and those donors, they have on the day of the founding of this thing, they also call Data Puja. Those who have given the money, their names are there, so they offer prayer for them.